What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Tspoon Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. Y'all, Chicago Sky fired head coach Teresa Weatherspoon after only one season. I'm really baffled by this decision, y'all, because I think Tspoon overachieved when you consider how poorly constructed this roster was, y'all. She did not have a point guard, and she did not have any three-point shooting outside of Marina Mabry. Then they trade away Marina Mabry to the Connecticut Sun, and they become an even worse three-point shooting team, y'all. So I think this season was supposed to be about the development of their two rookies, Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo, y'all. And let's be honest, Camila Cardozo had a really solid rookie campaign. Obviously, Angel Reese, she had a historic rookie campaign. So to me, that was a win, right? Because that's what this season was supposed to be about. We knew that Chicago Sky were not going to be a really good team. We knew that they were not going to be a playoff contender team, y'all. Although up until the last game of the season, they were in the playoff hunt. So again, credit to Tspoon for what she was able to do with a really lackluster roster. And now, y'all, they just got rid of a coach, man, that brought a toughness, a grittiness, a physicality, and a swagger to this organization that they really, really, really need. And you can tell our players love that. I mean, Tspoon, y'all, she's one of the most competitive players in WNBA history. And she brought that to the Sky franchise. She brought that to her team. And now they don't have it any longer, y'all. Right now, the Chicago Sky don't even have a direction. I don't know what they're trying to do with this franchise. Why in the world would you fire Tspoon after only one season? A year that she won 13 games, a year that she had y'all almost go to the playoffs. Literally, y'all, the Chicago Sky were only one game from going to the playoffs. They had no business even being that decent. I know a lot of people out the Sky were only going to win like 7 or 8 games. So she did a lot with a little, y'all. And now when I look at the Chicago Sky, I'm like, okay, yes, you have Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo. You have Kennedy Carter, but she's a free agent, so we're going to see what becomes of that. But outside of Kennedy Carter, y'all, Angel Reese, and Camila Cardozo, I mean, what does this Sky team really have? Right? And yes, they do have a lot of ways to improve this roster. But who's really going to want to join the organization, y'all, that just got rid of a head coach after only one season? And I want to read to y'all what the Chicago Sky put out after they fired Tspoon. So they said, after careful consideration, we have decided it is in the best interest of the organization to part ways with head coach Teresa Weatherspoon. We are deeply appreciative of Coach Tspoon's contributions to the Chicago Sky and the energy and passion she brought to the head coaching role. We thank her for inspiring a competitive, resilient spirit across the team, synonymous with Chicago Sky basketball. We remain steadfastly committed to being a playoff and championship contender every year, and we will be embarking on a thorough search for our next head coach, y'all. And I think, y'all, that is a bunch of baloney, especially that last paragraph. We remain steadfastly committed to being a playoff and championship contender every year. Seriously? Well, y'all weren't concerned about being a playoff team this year, because look at the roster that you put together. Look at the roster they assembled, y'all. They had 0 3-point shooting. I just told y'all that 0 3-point shooting outside of Marina Mabry. They did not have a true point guard. Listen, Kennedy Carter had a great year. She is a 2 guard, y'all. She's not a point guard. Okay, and Dana Evans, I think she's a solid guard, but they need like that lead guard. They need a guard, y'all, that can be, their Courtney Vandersloot. That's what they need. Remember, they had Courtney Vandersloot all those years. That's what they need again. Right? A point guard, a leader. Somebody that can get the ball to Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese consistently. They didn't have any of those things. So how were they committed to being a playoff team this year? Everyone knew that Sky were going to be a really bad team, y'all. And so I think we have to look at this organization as a joke right now. Seriously. I think the Chicago Sky are a joke, y'all. They might be the worst run organization in the WNBA right now. And I know some people might say, well, Zay, that's all I should say, considering just, 3 years ago, this team won the WNBA championship. Y'all, yeah, they did win the WNBA championship 3 years ago. 2 totally different teams, though. Right? That team had Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot, Alec. They had a lot of veterans on this team. This is a very young team, and James Wade was still the head coach. Remember, he was the head coach and the GM. Those pieces are no longer in Chicago. Right? They have a new GM, y'all. I don't know if this guy's ever going to be a really good GM. Let's see what he does this offseason, because he does have an opportunity to really improve this team. But can he do it? I don't know. Again, Tspoon, y'all, I think she's a really good coach. And I cannot wait to see what her next opportunity is going to be, because I'm telling y'all, whether it's if she goes back to coaching in college like she did a few years ago at Louisiana Tech, or if she gets another head coaching job, Tspoon is gonna do a phenomenal job because she is a really good head coach, y'all. The only thing that the Chicago Sky can really hang their hat on right now, y'all, is that they have Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese, and that they are going to have two probably top 10 picks in this year's, in next year's WNBA draft. And that's going to allow them to hopefully find their point guard in the future. Y'all, there are a lot of good point guards in the draft class. You got Olivia Miles out of Notre Dame. You got Sanaya Rivers out of NC State. You have Georgia Amore, formerly of Virginia Tech, now with the Kentucky Wildcats. And then you have Rory Harmon, y'all, out of the University of Texas. So Chicago Sky, next season, they definitely could be a better team, right? Because, again, having two top 10 draft picks, they have cap space. Like I said a few minutes ago, who is really going to want to join this team, y'all? Because this organization is a mess right now. They're a joke. And so it's going to be very interesting to see in the next coming months what this Chicago Sky organization ends up looking like, y'all, and who the next head coach is going to be. And I'm telling you, it's going to be very hard to find a really good head coach because I think he or she is going to be rubbed off by the way, y'all, that they did Tspoon. Because this is absolutely ridiculous. Only giving Tspoon a year. Only a year. And it's not even like that year was a horrible year. It was a pretty good year, y'all. Again, when you consider the roster that she was dealing with. And so I think the Chicago Sky, they have a long way to go, y'all, before becoming a respectable franchise again, because they have been a respectable franchise for in the past. But those days are long gone. It's going to be interesting to see what this team, what this franchise looks like in the next couple months, man. So there's another episode of Zayvon Sports Podcast. Remember, y'all, laughter is good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm an end, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.